Greetings, Louvre Museum, Paris, France. So here is a timeline of Kemet or ancient Egypt, and you can see that it says from 3800 to 30 BC. I'll go briefly over that, but someone was right during the live stream for the Great Pyramids of Giza. It is 2600 BCE, but we will see that. So we have that era called Nagada I between 38 and 3500 BCE. Then you have Nagada II between 35 and 3300 BC. Okay, you have different things that you can find in those areas, in those time periods. Nagada III between 33 and 3100 BCE. And this is 3100. You have the Narmer palette in Cairo, in the Egyptian Museum. At that time, that's when writing appears in Sumer, Iraq in 3100 BC. But we already had some writings. And that one, I think, yes, is in the Metropolitan Museum in Brooklyn. Now, 2000 BC, 2900 BC, Stela of the Ladies, Nitwa and Nitneb, 2800 BC, the Old Kingdom, between 27 and 2200 BC. You have here the Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara, and 2600, the Great Pyramids of Giza, see? 2600 BC. So whoever mentioned that was right. This scribe is upstairs here in the Louvre Museum. So that's 2500 BC. 2400 BC, we have the pyramid texts of Unas, Teti, and Pepi. Okay. Now we have Pepi II here in 2100 BC, 2200 BC, 2100 BC. That's when we have, in contrast, in comparison, we have the statues of Gudea, king of Lagash, and I've showed you Gudea, the king of Lagash. Okay, you have the Stela of Ireri. Okay, so we are at 2100 BC, and then when we go up the stairs, I'll go very quickly over that. But you have the Middle Kingdom here, the second intermediate period, the New Kingdom, 1500 BC. That's when we had the Temple of Hatshepsut, the Colossus of Amenhotep III, or known as Memnon Colossus, 1400 BC. Abu Simbel, 1300 BC. And there, the third intermediate period, I forgot to mention, yes, second intermediate period runs between 1700 and 1500. That's when we had the invasion of the Hyksos in the Delta. Okay, and the beginning of the 18th dynasty, Ahmose, and you had Kamos also, who fought those Asiatics. This is located in Belgium. This dagger is located in Belgium. That's when they chased the Hyksos away. So this is the third intermediate period. We are about 1000 BC. This is the Arca, around 700 BC, the 25th dynasty. And then you have the late period from the 26th dynasty, starting 600 BCE. Okay, the names already are starting to be different than the names that we are used to. And finally, we have the Ptolemaic period, 300 BC until 30 BC. And then you had Roman Egypt. You have Cleopatra the seventh, Philopator, and you have the beginning of the Christian era, or the 1st century. So this is the timeline.